Hi there, here's a quick video to show you how to get to the lab documents that you need, as well as the recordings, and then the quiz section where you'll enter in your work in order to be able to submit or correct the labs that you may be missing or did not pass. Remember, if you did not pass on your first attempt, you can know that by going into grades and taking a look. But you will need to email me to add an attempt if you're doing it for a second time. So this would be instructions for if you have not submitted it yet. So you'll go into content. This takes us to all the lessons. We're going to be looking in Unit 1. So we've got to scroll down to where the lab is. And you've got 1.10 is actually the lab simulation, and 1.13 is where you submit it. So if you go into the lab portion, we have a couple of screens that we're going to have to click through to get to the document that we need. All right, so here is the lab report document that we're looking for. So you want to click on that. It's going to open up for you. It is a Word document. So it looks like this. You're going to want to enable the editing, and immediately you want to go to File, Save As, and wherever you save things. If you don't have a great system at this point, just go to your desktop. But I always recommend that you change the title. Just take this off and put your first initial last name. So that way you know this is the one that is complete and not a blank template. So from there, you would want to save it. I'm just going to X out. And now you want to answer those questions. So at this point, I'm guessing you might need a little guidance there since it has not been completed yet. So we're going to go back to the home page. So you just click on Class Home, and we're going to scroll down. And this is where all the recordings are. So you click the link, and it opens up to a spreadsheet with all the recordings for the course. So I'm not sure you're able to see. I'll see if I can drop it down a little bit. So down here at the bottom, you've got to click Semester A, and that opens you up to all the recordings in Semester A. They're in order. Unit 1, this is the lab we're looking at. So you start the lab here in 110, and it goes through the simulation, and then 1.13 is where you're actually turning it in. So here's the recording that you'll want to watch to go and be able to complete the steps of the simulation. So if you need a little help with that, if you want to go back and do it on your own, remember it's in 1.10. And then if you want to work on Unit 2, that recording is available. You would follow the same steps, go download the document, and then come here and look for this recording. Right? And so part 1 is where you actually do the experiment. Part 2 is just where you're typing it in. So it doesn't matter where the recording is. So that's how you watch for how to do the lab. I give you pretty much the answers as I'm going through. So that would help you complete all your questions. Now to submit it, you've got to go back into the home page, and I'm going to have to move my screen up just a little bit. You're going to have to go back into the content, and then you'll have to scroll down to the lesson where you submit it. So remember, I said that's 1.13, and then here's the quiz. Okay, so we're here. This is showing in the student view that it's already been completed and only one attempt is allowed. So I'm going to have to go back and get into it from the teacher view so that I can just talk you through how to enter it. Okay, so now we're in the teacher view. I'm going exactly back to the same place. Under content, my computer's just moving slow. I'm going back to 1.13. I'm going back to the assessment. So I have to scroll up to get to it. Okay, clicking on that. Let's see, this is showing me, I can preview it, but this is again the teacher screen, so that's why it looks a little different. And you can see down here at the bottom, it says start quiz. So I'm going to click there. All right, so this is what you're looking at. Introduction, what was the purpose of the experiment? These questions are the same as what you filled in on your lab report, that Word document that we downloaded. So you'll just type in your answer, the purpose. From here, the variables, that was talked about in the recording, so you just match the variable. Okay, then here it says write a hypothesis, so that's the same thing as your lab report. The tools you use, you're just typing in, you use the simulation. Here you're putting your procedure in order, so think through that. And then here it's asking you to create a data table. So if you created a data table in a Word document, so on that lab report, if you created it, if you drew it out, you can upload a picture. Let's see if you go in here. Actually, the recording shows you how to do that, so I don't want to spend more time here. But you just use the plus sign, and you either can create your own table, or if you took a screenshot of your drawing or a screenshot of the lab data table you did in the Word document, you would insert that picture here. So you add that. And then here you're showing your graph results. So you're going to have to create a graph. Again, you could draw it. And then you answer, your last couple questions and submit. Again, these are coming from that lab report, which you watched the video of to get the answers. So this should be pretty easy. All right, so you would do the same thing if you wanted to go in and complete the Unit 2 lab. It's going to make me exit out of the whole thing, but you'd go back into the science homepage under content and go to Unit 2 lab to do the same thing. So I hope that helps at least get your lab points in.